Welcome to this presentation on the groundbreaking Stanford University Better Up study that reveals a troubling paradox in today's AI-driven workplace. As organizations rush to adopt artificial intelligence tools promising increased productivity and efficiency, a hidden problem has emerged, what researchers call Workslop. Today, we'll explore what Workslop is, the staggering financial and human costs it's creating in organizations, how it's eroding workplace trust and collaboration, and what leaders can do to address this growing problem. This isn't just about technology. It's about how we're using technology and how our approach to AI adoption may be undermining the very productivity gains we seek. The AI productivity paradox. Imagine this. Your organization invests in cutting-edge AI tools. 40% of your employees are using them regularly, and yet productivity isn't improving. In fact, it may be getting worse. This is the paradox uncovered by Stanford researchers. The study reveals that while AI tools can produce content that looks polished and professional, much of it lacks substance, what the researchers term workslop. This isn't just poorly done work. It's work that masquerades as quality output but fails to meaningfully advance tasks, and the consequences are severe. Colleagues spend nearly 2 hours fixing each instance of Workslop. Think about that for a moment. An employee uses AI to quickly generate a report, presentation, or analysis. It looks good at first glance, but when a colleague receives it, they discover it's superficial, inaccurate, or incomplete. Now they must spend almost 2 hours correcting, supplementing, or completely renewing the work. The time saved by using AI is more than offset by the time wasted downstream. The hidden costs of Workslop are staggering. Researchers found that each incident costs an organization an average of 1 hour and 56 minutes in lost productivity. That translates to $186 per month for each employee. For a company with 10,000 workers, that's over $9 million annually, vanishing into thin air. What makes Workslop particularly insidious is how it shifts the burden of work. Unlike traditional automation that offloads tasks to machines, Workslop offloads cognitive work to other humans. The AI user thinks they've completed their task, but they've actually just transferred the real work to someone else. This isn't isolated to specific roles or levels. The study found that 40% of Workslop flows between peers, 18% from direct reports to managers, and 16% from managers down to their teams. Professional services and technology sectors are hit hardest, likely because they've adopted AI tools most aggressively without adequate guardrails. The researchers describe this as an invisible tax on organizations, a cost that doesn't appear on any balance sheet but drains productivity and morale across the enterprise. Workplace relationships under strain. Beyond the financial costs, Workslop is corroding the very fabric of workplace relationships. When employees receive Workslop, their reactions are overwhelmingly negative. 53% feel annoyed, 38% confused, and 22% offended. Even more concerning, Workslop damages professional reputations. Around half of recipients view colleagues who produce Workslop as less creative, capable, and reliable. 42% see them as less trustworthy, and 37% see them as less intelligent. 1/3 report being less likely to work with the sender in the future. As one finance worker lamented, "It created a situation where I had to decide whether I would rewrite it myself, make him rewrite it, or just call it good enough." A retail director described the cascading effect. "I had to waste more time following up on the information and checking it with my own research. I then had to waste even more time setting up meetings with other supervisors to address the issue. Then I continued to waste my own time having to redo the work myself." This is the human cost of Workslop: eroded trust, damaged reputations, and broken collaboration. In knowledge work where relationships and trust are paramount, this may be even more damaging than the financial costs. The broader AI productivity challenge. This Stanford study helps explain a mystery that's puzzled business leaders. Why aren't we seeing productivity gains from AI despite massive investments? A recent MIT Media Lab study found that 95% of organizations see no measurable return on their generative AI investments. The researchers identified two distinct approaches to AI adoption. Pilots use AI purposefully to enhance creativity and productivity. They maintain quality standards and use AI as a collaborative tool to augment human capabilities. Passengers, on the other hand, use AI to avoid work entirely, producing superficial content that looks polished but lacks substance. The problem isn't AI itself, it's how we're using it. When AI becomes a shortcut to avoid thinking rather than a tool to enhance thinking, we get workslop. When organizations mandate AI adoption without providing guidance on proper usage, they create incentives for passengers rather than pilots. Solutions and recommendations. The good news is that workslop is a solvable problem. The Stanford researchers offer several practical recommendations for organizations. First, leaders must model thoughtful AI use. Rather than just mandating adoption, they should demonstrate how to use AI as a tool for enhancement rather than replacement. Show practical examples of high-quality AI-assisted work that maintains substance while leveraging efficiency. Second, establish clear guardrails. Create guidelines around acceptable AI practices, including when and how AI should be used and what level of human oversight is required. Differentiate between tasks where AI can add value and those that require human judgment and expertise. Third, frame AI as collaborative. Position AI as a tool that augments human capabilities rather than a shortcut to avoid thinking and effort. Emphasize that AI should enhance, not replace, human intelligence and creativity. Finally, maintain quality standards. Apply the same standards of excellence to human AI work as to purely human output. Don't sacrifice substance for polish. Judge work by its outcomes and impact, not by its superficial appearance. In conclusion, the Stanford study on Workslop reveals a critical insight that technology alone doesn't create productivity. How we use technology, the norms, incentives, and guardrails we establish around it determines whether it enhances or undermines our work. By addressing Workslop, organizations can unlock the true potential of AI while preserving the human elements of trust, collaboration, and quality that remain essential to success. Thank you for exploring this important research with us. The future of work isn't about choosing between humans and AI, it's about creating the conditions where they can work together effectively without creating hidden costs that undermine our collective productivity.